Hi, I'm Leslie Cohen-Rubury, and I am going to bring to life today the 3 or 4 skills that are listed on the handout that you just clicked on. I'd love to explain some of the DBT skills that you can practice to help you achieve what you want. So the skills come from the DBT world, which stands for dialectic behavior therapy. I consider these life skills because they help build a life worth living, as Marsha Linehan's likes to say, who developed this therapy. So these skills woven together will help you get the obstacles that you deal with out of your way so you can achieve those things that you want to. We all set goals. I set goals all the time and things get in my way. Core beliefs that I'm not good enough, that it's too scary to put myself out in the world. Other things that get in the way is just procrastinating. I'd rather do busy work than something more important that may take more time and effort and maybe a little scarier. Anxiety can get in the way. Other emotions can get in the way. I'm not, I don't know that it'll be good enough. Things like that. Or maybe just getting uncomfortable if I'm trying to make some doctor's appointments or things like that. So whether it's procrastination, emotions, or core beliefs that are getting in your way, these are all skills to help you move forward in your life. By the way, regressions are perfectly normal when you're going forward towards a goal. So we're not going to give up. We're going to come back to the skills and use them again. So the first skill that I'd like to say is we are going to engage our wise mind. Our wise mind is a synthesis of both my emotion mind and my logical mind. So my wise mind helps me get things that I want in life, helps me do things effectively for my long-term goals, and I want to live according to my values. So my values might be self-development, my values might be financial security. Whatever your value is, it helps you give direction to your life, and you're trying to figure out what it is that you want. So wise mind helps us figure that out, which might be a problem by itself. So figuring out what you want in life is not always easy. Do I want to have more time to relax and enjoy my life? Do I want more time, do things I'm doing that are, but be more financially successful? Do I want to try something brand new? Volunteer, doing something different. So there are so many ways. Just clean up my house, declutter. If I believe in a value of minimalization, you can see behind me, there might be a lot of stuff in my house that I might want to work on. So we all have values. First step is to identify your values with your wise mind. Sit down, spend some time on that. Once we have the value, once we know what we're working towards, what gets in the way and what do we do about it? So we have our wise mind. Now might use a skill called cope ahead. No, I want to do the first one. Build mastery. So building mastery is not becoming an expert or a master at anything. It's instead building a sense of accomplishment. Like I want to build a sense of accomplishment. So whether I am trying to declutter my house, it may not be that I become a expert in organization and decluttering. I might just do something that makes me feel like it's a sense of accomplishment. If I clean out one drawer or one cabinet, I might get a sense of accomplishment. If it's too easy, I'm not going to get that sense of accomplishment. If it's too hard, I'm going to fail and I'm not going to get that sense of accomplishment. So we want to find that sweet spot, that Goldilocks spot of finding just right what's going to give me a great sense of accomplishment. And when we break things down, so you've got the value, you have a goal of what you want to do. When you break it down into small actionable steps that are moderately challenging and you accomplish it, that reinforcement will make you want to do it again. So we want to build in the sense of accomplishment because it's the sense of accomplishment of saying, I did it, that helps you do more. So whether it's making one phone call, let's say you want to go back to graduate school or some kind of educational programming, but you're really anxious about it. Can you do your research and feel that sense of accomplishment if you did that one step? A lot of times people won't give themselves partial credit. Well, so what? I did a little research. I didn't do anything else. I didn't get myself to class. If you don't give yourself a pat on the back, a reinforcement that you've taken one step. You're shooting yourself in the foot and you're not getting where you want to go, because we build through small steps. So definitely reinforce yourself. Pick something that's a little challenging and do it over and over again until you accomplish it. Get that sense of accomplishment, pick the next thing. So that's building a sense of mastery. Do it every day, do small steps, and then reinforce it with, I did it. Cheerlead yourself, encourage yourself. Moving on to the next skill. The next skill would be called, we have build mastery, coping ahead. Cope ahead is when we know we're going to be doing something that brings up emotion. We're going to be in a situation that makes us anxious. So whether it's making a phone call to ask some difficult questions, calling a doctor, because I might get anxious if I call a doctor to make an appointment. If you're applying for a job and you get really anxious talking to someone, you want to cope ahead, prepare for the situation that actually brings you some emotion. It may bring you anger, frustration, anxiety, whatever emotion you think you're going to deal with. That's what we're going to cope ahead with. We're going to make a plan. We're going to write a script. We are going to create a script that helps us deal with the situation we know we're going to end up in. Let's say you were just trying to be more social. Your value was, I want to connect to more people. I want to be more social. And so getting myself to more social engagements, meeting people, going out, talking to strangers, whatever it is that I want to do, I'm going to cope ahead for that. And the way I'm going to cope ahead for that is I'm going to rehearse the situation the way I want to see myself dealing with it over and over again. Wow, what happens when we rehearse something? Our cells remember what we did because it doesn't know the difference between imaginary and real. The cells don't. And so we've practiced dealing with a difficult situation that we think is going to happen. So the steps are: identify the situation that's going to be difficult. Is it getting dressed to go out? Is it getting out of the car to go into the house? Is it making the phone call or the text just to make the date? Where is the emotion and the troubling situation going to show up? Where are you going to procrastinate? Sitting down and writing that email, or sitting down and writing the article you've been wanting to write. So figure out where the situation is. Describe that problem in detail. I'm going to want to go downstairs or go for a walk instead of sit down at my computer. And you think about the situation as it's going to happen, the problem situation, with all of the emotion. Then step 2 is you write out the script of, what am I going to do? What skills am I going to use when I have the urge to go for a walk instead of sit down at the computer? I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to think of my long-term goal. So there's step 2, is write out the script with the skills that you want to use to help yourself deal with the situation that you want to change. Step 3 is imagine yourself doing that. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking yourself through your cope ahead, the plan and the script. Imagine yourself doing it. So you go ahead and you imagine, going to the computer, having the thought, and you walk yourself through it. After you imagine it, you rehearse it over and over and over again. The more we rehearse something, the better we are. So any actor who goes up on stage, they haven't practiced it once. They haven't learned their lines and got out there and did it once. They practice and rehearse it over and over again. So rehearsal is really important. And then the last step in cope ahead is, after you've rehearsed it, relax. Take a deep breath and feel the calmness of, I did it. So that's cope ahead. That helps us prepare for the situations that we get into trouble with, or that we avoid, or that we feel too anxious. The last skill is opposite action. So in opposite action, remember I said before, I have an urge to go for a walk when I don't want to do the hard thing. Whatever the hard thing is, I want to avoid it. So I have some kind of other urge. I might want to eat. I might want to yell at someone because I'm frustrated. I might want to hide or avoid, if I'm concerned about putting myself out there, I'm going to avoid doing that thing that's going to make me nervous. So we identify the emotion we're feeling. Feelings come with urges. Look at the paper. You can see that the urge, anger comes with the urge to attack or get loud or go towards. That's typically what happens with anger. Some people do retreat with anger, and I get that. But you want to identify what is your urge with the emotion. Shame is often I want to hide. I don't want people to see me. So I want to hide. Sadness, I want to isolate or withdraw. So all emotions tend to have a biological urge that comes with it. So identify the urge that you feel when that emotion shows up. And this skill is so cool. You go opposite. You go the other direction because the urge is sending you one way and you want to go the opposite direction. And you want to do it all the way. You want to feel it, think it, act it. You want your gestures to actually feel different. So the easiest example I can give you right now is I can do anger and I can do anxiety. So let's say my urge when I go to the party is I'm not going in there. I'm getting back in my car and leaving. So if my urge is to withdraw, I might get out of my car and stand really tall. And I might think, I'm standing outside. I can do this. And I'm going to start to say, wow, I noticed my urge is to get back in the car and I'm standing outside. I'm going to count the steps towards the door and I'm going to focus on taking the steps towards the thing that I'm afraid of. And then I might go inside and I may not announce I'm here. You don't have to go all the way with being big and bold. You can go all the way by stepping inside, taking off your coat and sitting down. Maybe for you, taking off your coat and sitting down where there are people may be all the way. You can't be sitting, if you are sitting in that thing saying, I got to get out of here, get out of here. That's not opposite action all the way. Opposite action all the way means your head is saying, I'm here. I see people. I see 5 men. I see 3 people talking over there. I see someone sitting by themselves over there. You can use your mindfulness, observing skills to help you stay in the moment. So that's getting your head in place. You might smile. You might sit with your hands open rather than sitting really crossed and looking like you're withdrawing. So you want your body gestures to match your opposite action of going towards the thing you want to avoid. Your thoughts have to be there, your body action, and your sensations. So that's opposite action. All right, I'm going to wrap up, say thank you. I hope this video was helpful to bring to life the 3 skills that are on, the 3 or 4 skills that are listed on the handout. Be well.